How many people have stopped to spend 5 minutes? 5 minutes inventory, 5 minutes bookkeeping is very little for a whole year of business. It would be a great thing if somebody could boast, I'm the man. I was Mekayem, I spent 5 minutes thinking of the past whole year. It's a very poor little boast, but halavai v'halavai. So we see, it's essential to have time, a lot of time. 5 minutes is not enough to think what happened. Mazos osa lekim lano. You need a lot of time to think that out. But even 5 minutes are not forthcoming. So what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do in Mitzrayim? He wanted the Bnei Yisrael to learn the lesson. There were so many important lessons. What did he do? So the Gemara says, Al kol maka o maka hoya mishamesh hadeva. In every case when there was a maka, in every one of the makas, there was a deva also, the pestilence also. Although one of the makas was deva by itself, but deva went along with every makkah. When there was dom, when the water turned into blood, there was a deva. Spaldeya, there was a deva. Kinim, there was a deva. Now, what's the significance of that? Because the Gemara states a principle how to behave chas v'sholem when there's an epidemic. The Gemara says when there's an epidemic, deva ba'ir kaneis raglecha. When there's an epidemic, don't go out and mix with people. Very important advice. Even when there's an epidemic of colds, chas v'sholem flu, don't go where there are crowds. Stay away from crowds. First of all, it's good you shouldn't donate your germs to other people. You should keep it to yourself. And secondly, when a lot of people together, so a lot of people are donating it to one big pool, it's easier for Lil to catch it. Keep away from crowds. What do? You remain home. Deva be'ir kaneis raglecha. You remain home. And the people at that time had good sense. They had leaders, the Ziknei B'nai Yisrael, they had leaders, they had elders. In Egypt, our forefathers had elders. When Moshe Rabbeinu had to come to tell the B'nai Yisrael the good tidings that they're going to be redeemed, he didn't stand on the street, in the Jewish street, and shout. He went to the elders. Ziknei Ha'am, because the people listened to their leaders, to their elders. It's an important thing to understand. In Mitzrayim, the people obeyed their elders. And so they went to the elders, and the elders said, Deva ba'ir, kaneis raglecha, stay home. Everybody went into his little hut, his cabin, his cottage, and they locked the door. They shouldn't have any business with anybody else. That's isolation. If you can't do any other thing, that's the best thing you can do. Now, if you're staying home, what are you going to do? You have nothing to do. You can't work. You can't take walks. You can't pick berries. You can't ride. You can't hike. You can only stay home and talk. What do? You talk. So the father and the grandfather are all one little house, all crowded together. The grandfather and the sons and the children all sitting there. They were talking. What's the news of the day? The current market. The market that's right now in vogue. Now they say down. So they're sitting in their houses and talking. You hear what happened to Mamre, the Egyptian over there? He went for a drink, and his mouth was all bloodied up, as if somebody punched him in the lips. And he vomited it out. He couldn't take it. And they're dying for a drink of water. Is that so? Maybe in the wells? So he says, no, I know, the well next door. You see how red it is? They're trying to drink. Look at them. So they were talking all day long, but not like we're talking here. They went to the bottom of it. They were discussing that. They had nothing to do. They talked and talked and talked. It was exciting. To us, it's very old. But to them it was happening right now. And therefore, it was the rage of the moment. And he went into all the details. Aha, that bloody Egyptian now. Remember when he smacked me in the mouth? And there was blood in my mouth? Now he's getting it. And so they studied Mida Keneged Mida, and they became wiser, and Vayodu Ki Ani Hashem more and more and more, and the emunah got into their bones. Not merely the emunah was in their brains. Up here, it's too weak. It has to get into the bones, into the marrow of the bones. That there is a shafet over the world, a Kel Kano, then they came, Kel Nekamis Hashem, and he has everything under control, and they learned that great lesson, and it remained in their bones forever till this day. Of course, it's a long time already. By this time it's a little weak. And so when the Jews gather around the table at the Seder night, a little echo remains of those great days, when that first night when they sat there at Pesach and they talked over all the things that happened. But because they had time, they were sitting and talking about it.